Do you think you would make a good Prime Minister, and why?
I'm trying to be good even in my role now as Ketua Umum Keadilan, helping to chair this Pakatan Rakyat and doing whatever service to the nation. I think we should do well. We should learn from our past experience and improve and move on. So whether I can make it to become Prime Minister or not is not an issue now. I think what we need to do is to prove that we can deliver the states, perform well, and conduct our affairs, even in Parliament. As I said in my initial statement, the 82 members of Parliament should perform and act as loyal opposition, and they must be recognized as such. That is why I have been appealing to UMNO and BN leadership to recognize the change. Some are still using the old mindset of the past. They have to recognize, okay, fair, what is done, it cannot be undone. I'm not even making an issue of my 6 years of solitary confinement, but let's move on. And as I've said, even for me personally, it was very painful, but then I said, I'm forgiven. The police chief or the former Prime Minister or even this corrupt judges who handled the case. I said, but well, we have to move on. It was important. But it does not mean when I say move on, they're all forgiven. They continue to perpetrate the crime, the injustices. And this is our problem. That is why, some of my friends were speaking, even when I met Mandela, I remember soon after I was released, we talk about truth and reconciliation commission. See, because reconcile is okay, but truth must be established. Otherwise, you can hear voices spring up from time to time with impunity, without remorse. Yes, we had free media in the past, we had independent judiciary in the past. That is ridiculous. People, not only you don't learn, the society will never be able to learn. That's why truth must be established, not necessarily to punish them. Okay, I think they can be forgiven. But why I sometimes, although I say no malice, I've forgiven Mahathir, but sometimes some of the issues we need to explain, because he's living in the dreamland. To suggest that that was the ideal period of Malaysian history. No control of the media, no arrest without trial, nobody was discriminated, and everything was done well. So there is a difference here. If I say no malice, forgiven, we have to move on. It's not mean that you continue with your fitna and your unabated crime, and like now I say, okay, I'll be detained, free, fair. But then there are people still, hundreds, being detained under the ISA. Or they say, oh, Anwar now becoming like a Hindu agent because he's supporting the Hindraf detainees. I don't know. So I met the family members. I met the children recently of the Hindraf 5, the wives, children. I mean, you should empathize with them. I went through that, And how do you expect me to say, well, never mind, they are terrorists? And similarly, yesterday I met the wife of one of the JI, Jemaah Islam. He has been detained for 6 years. You not adduce any evidence to support the detention. And for 6 years he had no contact, even as alleged, with all these people. Release him, for goodness sake. So this will be one of the major issues that we'll take up. The Muslims, the Hindus, and whoever who've been detained.
Since last week, Parliament made this call on interference of AC's investigations by Mahathir. He put you in jail because of that, and Parliament has asked for investigations on what happened with the police reports and investigations on Mahathir's interference and AC's investigations. What are your views of that at this point?
Well, we just show that the incompetence, the irresponsibility, and the crime is being perpetrated until now. Nothing seems to have changed. Look at the AG's reply. It's so irresponsible and assuming that Malaysians are stupid. There is an allegation and an oath. And I, of course, I was also privy. I was Deputy Prime Minister and Chairperson of the Government Committee on Management and Procurement. The least the AG can do, I do, of course, cannot expect more than that, possibly, is to say, well, we'll conduct open, transparent investigations. And we say, no, it's just one-to-one, which is a blatant lie. How can you say one person? Because certainly not, the DG will not raid alone. Firstly, he will not lead the raid of the office. Secondly, there will be some other officers involved. And for him to come back to say that. But what is, disgusting to my mind is that after all this, after the elections, after all this talk about the judicial crisis, and in fact Prime Minister Abdullah acknowledging the fact that Mahathir destroyed the judiciary, which is a lot, to suggest, and all this commission, the Lingam tape, you can still have the AGs talking like that. It's pathetic to say the least. Now, what do we do? I'm not, of course, I'm the last person to suggest that Mahathir should be jailed. Okay, I'm not even. I wouldn't. Even suggest. But then, at least, we would expect the AG to say we'll conduct investigations, or to say that we will not pursue after 10 years, whatever. But you can't just say there's no case. I am privy to that. I know there is a case. And not only me, there are many others. The AG was privy to that, the then AG. The ACA Director General and numbers of his staff members privy to that. The then Chief Secretary of the government, the KSN, was privy to that. They can choose to lie or deny, but I know for a fact what transpired, because it's one of the issues that Mahathir was very angry with me. In fact, there was one of the questions he asked the DG, did Anwar instruct you to do that?
Datuk Seri, Parlimen akan bermula tidak lama lagi. Saya ada beberapa soalan mengenai Parlimen.
Are we finished yet? 6 o'clock today? Or?
Adakah
are you writing a book or?
No, we have a few questions.
Adakah Pakatan Rakyat akan membenarkan ahli Parlimen untuk mengundi menurut pegangan masing-masing? Will you allow them to vote their conscience, even if it's against melawan sesuatu isu which is against PR stand?
Ada cadangan. Pertama, ahli parlimen parti-parti masing-masing dan juga bersama akan mengadakan sidang untuk membahaskan isu-isu yang berkaitan dengan parlimen. Kedua, di antara isu yang dibahaskan juga termasuk beberapa ketetapan yang akan diambil berhubung dengan isu-isu khusus, sama ada diberikan kelonggaran. Ada pandangan ke arah itu, tapi saya tidak boleh berikan kepastian sehingga ada keputusan bersama. Pada pendapat pribadi saya, dalam dia tidak, kalau menyentuh dasar, maka mereka terikat dengan dasar parti. Tapi kalau mengikatkan beberapa isu yang agak longgar, itu diberikan sedikit kelonggaran kepada mereka. Jadi kita adakan satu suasana di mana ahli parlimen itu diberikan pengiktirafan dan penghormatan.
Adakah Pakatan Rakyat akan mengusulkan usul tidak percaya kepada Perdana Menteri dalam sidang Parlimen yang akan datang? Is that a definite thing that you are going to do?
No, for now it's not. The issue has not risen, and we don't find it a necessity, critical. We would of course continue to monitor and discuss between Keadilan and DAP and past leaders. But for now, the issue has not arisen.